But this is an artist called Matthew Chloe. This is a Santana cover album, but he also did Earth, Wind and Fire. And he's not a black artist, but he did a lot of black images. But I like the visionary aspect to his art. He's got this fantasy, visionary, otherworldly thing. He's also got the wonder beat, you see that? Try. But so I like his work, and I think he deals with the kind of mystical side of art, which I quite like. I do love Frida Kahlo. The colours, yeah.
Is that one?
That's not her stuff, but it's just the colours are very reminiscent. So I just thought I wanted to make a movie of colour and textures that's still in its process, just to inspire me. So I like stuff by other artists as well, but I do like Miro.
He's actually one of my favourite artists.
This is my favourite artist, really.
I had him in my room.
Yeah, so
just a friend of mine gave it to me.
Yeah, so he's one of my favourite artists as well.
It's so abstract.
That's what it is.
Colors. See, I love orange, and most of his pieces are either orange or like a deep yellow.
Yeah. So that's yeah. So I like colours, and I didn't realise how bright my artwork was. You know, when I started painting. It's really interesting you're drawn to this picture because it was a woman drumming, and someone told me a story. I don't know if this is true, but in Guyana, when somebody's going to get married, the women would dress up from the African influence, so they wear gele, the whole African dress, and the women would be carrying drums. And I don't know what they're called, but there were women that used to drum for the bride. And it's a Guyanese custom, but I might be wrong, but this is what I was told. So she was actually a drummer, and actually I was kind of influenced by that. And then all of a sudden I just decided to cover it. So it deals with illusion and clarity. Like Maya is a goddess of illusion, so it deals with illusion. But I just thought it worked, so I kept it in because it makes you intrigued.
I like the colours that you use.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how does it go straight? Does it go like that?
It actually straight. So like I say, just to leave it. And I've got texture and layers on it, so it's got like lots of different textures. It's got paint on it. Got marks and stripes, the drips and stuff, so it's textured. These are all deliberate. And it's mixed, I think it's got some oil in it as well. So I've got acrylic and oil, so I wanted to have something which is... I think I'm getting to a point of enjoying breaking rules or combining things that are not. Because when I studied art, I'm sure it was so... critiques are so bad. I see people give up art from critiques, and I just thought nobody needs that because you follow a formula.
Different ways of doing it.
What else would you like to get? You want to show you?
You're still working on that.
Still working on that one there. That's not fit, that's a print. I can show you some of the stuff here or up, or you can just go to. This one here. That was done after Ferguson.
Okay.
It's a collage actually, isn't it? It's a painting and a collage. It's actually a print. It's a picture of a woman. And it's a woman, Osset is having a conversation with my aunt. She's the feather. And that's when there was a lot of people got injured and killed in Ferguson. So it's about the mother aspect, contemplating the death of these boys that were murdered, which is, when you think about it, a lot of the boy children getting killed in police custody.
It's funny, that was one of the questions I had for you. To what extent do current things going on in society and just current movements affect or inspire the works you do?
It's really funny, it's a subtle way. I think when I was younger I would have done more slogans, more words, more really obvious paintings, but I think I captured like this one, I think I captured the way she's sitting there contemplating, and I think it's more effective than sometimes having a slogan on justice or something, so the feather is about justice, so these things affect me, but I try to convey them in a different way from the obvious. I don't know, I'm very quite outspoken when it comes to things that happen in current events. I don't watch paper, I don't watch the news. But the information I do get, I'm quite outspoken. But when I do my art, I feel another need to do it a different way.
This area seems to be an interesting blue. Or is it just me?
It's true. That's the interest. Yeah, I mean, blue last year. I mean, I always like blue's my favourite colour. So everybody asks me about blue. It used to be yellow, but now it's blue. That's yellow now. It's also a drawing of her, but I've kind of done her art deco type of headdress. That is my art. I think it's about the elements of water. Women, feminine energy is water in its element. So for me, I just think it's about the. I think it's unconscious actually as well. It wasn't conscious. Like I'm gonna make 3 blue paintings. There's millions of them in blue, but I just felt drawn to those colours. Yeah.
And you tend to use gold a lot. Not necessarily that, but you put your.
Yeah.
Is that the reflection of what it is?
You know when it comes to mind? You know what comes to mind when I use gold? There's always a song in my head, and it's always I'm the black gold of the sun. Rotary connection sung it first, and then you had a few different versions of it. But that's me looking to them, rotary connection. But black gold of the sun for me is how black women are portrayed, and it's when I was growing up. Nowadays it's different, but for me, growing up in the 80s or the 70s, black women were kind of. There was a head of the house and it was respected, but publicly they had to have a place. And when you learn about all these goddesses and the sun, it feels like a very special, angelic place. And it just means, I think it just comes to the specialness of woman. Like when you say black woman, instead of seeing her as strong, what about her connection to God? Is she, I don't know. It's really. It just comes to mind the black gold of the sun being celebrated. Gold is quite strong.
And that one wasn't like.
This is the latest one, and I think that's really cosmic in nature, but it's really
with the Afro punk coming up soon.
Yeah, oh please. No, yeah, it is. But what happened was it didn't start like that. She had actually a gold crown. She had a gold crown of feathers.
Okay.
And I just get up to the earth and fire, and just got into a space of the inner, because we see inner as dark, or so it's about the inner power. And I think when you look at that first, you might think it's very strong, but it's actually I didn't mean to put an afro on it, but it just transpired into that. Yeah, so I don't want it to be a kind of. I don't know, for me it's what people see, but I just felt compelled to do the black and the gold, which I think I'm moving away from blue maybe now. Black and gold is be my colour, but it just,
I like it.
Yeah, I hope that it does affect people in a different way. And she's all set, because she's actually got the throne. So in Egyptian painting, all set.
The top there, the white.
Yeah, it's a throne of all set, whereas Marked has a feather. So my art is the balance, the scales, but normally on her head she has a feather, or has a throne. So people get them mixed up, but you have to look, when you study Egyptian art, you look at those little bits. And the scarab I put in there, I think I've got the scarab in another picture as well, but it's black transformation.
You mean the
neck thing, yeah, the beetles. So for me, I sometimes like to use a bit of symbology in there. Instead of using words, because they always have a meaning.
Oh yeah, words, what we think words mean.
Yeah, so I enjoy that one.
And I also noticed you kind of use, you said you have your fashion background. I've seen you always kind of using things, your chair.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can buy it like that.
No, actually, this chair actually wheeled it. It's got to be fixed. I've been in the process of fixing it, but actually wheeled it and covered it. So I used to cover shoes. This is a fun thing. But I like
things you do at your workshops.
Yeah, covering shoes, and we do art workshops, sacred arts, sacred creation. But I'm doing a headdress workshop. He's actually bringing now. The purpose of the workshops really are to bring people together, and for women or men, whoever want to be creative, to be in that space. And what you find is that, you know, we have tea and biscuits and stuff, and people actually exchange business cards, and they become friends, they connect, and that's when you get to pass stories, because it's reminiscent of when I used to work with women's groups. So for me, it's about bringing women together.
There's another one I can think of. Yeah, we can maybe go through some.
So, okay. See that one? Yeah. See that one? That was the exhibition, but it's not the look at these are colours I've been experimenting with.
Okay.
Not
So
really.
you first use them on this before you do canvas?
Yeah, sometimes I do. These are not. Sometimes I use them. But I'll tell you about these. I went for. This is going to be part of the next calendar. It's collage, and I've just painted over it. It's very shamanic. So, not pictures. Like I did donate one to breast cancer charity. So again, it's all the adornment, which I love. I love to see women being adorned and men, you know, ritual adornment. And this was a series I did of couples in love. So you've got men and women. This one I did this a couple of years ago, and it's about, you know, angels and devils. It's called, and it's the same side. Remember, it's about the trauma. Sometimes there's a school of thought in healing that says the only way to heal yourself is to go face it, go to the dark side to your shadow. So when we say dark side, we're not saying just to heal the parts that's operating in your life and running your life. And you know, that process can take years. So while you're going through that process, it's okay to stand.
Because actually what shapes.
Yeah.
I think the issue is when we don't connect the two, because if we do connect, they make our beingness.
Definitely.
You know, so when we don't kind of relate with that dark side and just continue psychologically just, you know, putting it at the back of our minds.
We'll always encounter situations for us to heal that. So we'll always be in relationships, friendships, work relationships where that is happening. You know, so healing is in the spirit, they always say. It's not Sunset people say as well, and then we've got healing in the spirit. And a lot of Eastern thought deals with healing first or spirit first, but they'll maybe do it for meditation, but Western will do it for counseling, psychotherapy, group work, coaching, and I think that is really important that people embrace that. And I felt that was quite profound, and in terms of it's important that we do see that, you know.
You're actually kind of touching a little bit of my research interests and some of the things that I'm kind of looking to examine. This is more of my right now. But I think sometimes as I grow with the research, it's still curating work as well. So it would be nice. I actually think maybe one way or other, you could be an artist I work with as well.
That's okay, yeah, I'm happy with that, definitely, because I like to explore depth, and I think that's how I work with people, and my art is subtle, but it deals with depth. And I think because when I work with clients as a coach, it's definitely about going to where is their unconscious pattern, where is everything happening, and the place where I'm with myself. I can't skim things over because I always get situations always come for that to be revealed. So it's really important we explore that because it will come up in our dreams, you know, as well. So you know, people, I think where you've got a race of people that had a lot of trauma and they've not been given the tools really, or they have been given the tools, but they're very mindful about, because you know, when you have a trauma, your trust is broken. So if you've had so many years of trauma and no kind of wellness put in place, but there's a stigma to get well, how you get well, then it's always going to impact on you. So.
I think one other interesting thing about mental health that we don't really touch on is one of those things that I also think people who are suffering in mental illness because those elements that people haven't really touched. And I think our communities were so quick to call someone. They're crazy, but what they're talking about is something that are connected to things that we haven't really allow them to kind of elaborate. It could be something that happened in their childhood or in the past,
Yeah.
but it's also pressed. And then when it comes out, we're like, what's this person talking about?
Yeah.
You know?
And it is, yeah.
We just label them as mad, crazy.
Very much so, and I think that working in art therapy, not art therapy, but using art as therapy with groups, you have a lot of people that have had big addiction problems, and they've used art as a medium to get that across, and it has actually saved lives. You know, art, the process of making music, the process of creating a picture or creating a journal. You know, a lot of artists, creative people can get depression, or just anybody, and the fact that someone can just paint for an hour, it stabilizes a lot of people. That's why it's used in a lot of hospitals, people with mental illness, prisons. I've worked with people with various conditions in groups, and they've done art, and it's really, I think it's so beautiful, and they tell their stories, and the stories are not always nice, they're quite gruesome. But it's a cathartic release.
Healing in
Yes.
telling.
Yeah. There
Because
is.
it's still feeling telling.
And that's the thing with art, you don't have to, your trauma can come out in your pictures or your whatever art form you use. And this is why I have a problem with the art form of being called an artist just for one particular medium.
Just thinking that is one of that.
Yes, that is a comment from Group actually, Hygiene, and she's the goddess of health and healing. And I put her in September because it's Virgo month and they're associated with healing and stuff. So, but yeah, no, I love, because I like Crimp's work as well, and the fact it's got the snake, and my mum hates the snake. But it's a very West Indian thing to a degree. They don't like snakes because of, I don't know, maybe Christianity, the Garden of Eden. But in Native American and some other religions, the snake is seen as transformation. So when you get snake skin, So what one person sees is, because I saw somebody, it was a carnival group, and their next exhibition, their next carnival costume for 2017 is the snake. And someone put on Facebook about it being a bit dark and then going to the dark side. And then someone said, do you know what mass means? So again, even at carnival, it was a way of transforming the negative into the positive. So.
And the pencils, do you tend to do that?
Yeah, sketching. I decided to sketch a man, and then, yeah, I like using pencils because I remember we did a lot of life learning, A-level, figurative. So I think I draw better than I paint. But then when I actually paint, so I'll draw a picture, and when I got to paint it, the paint would be totally different to the drawing. It's like I can't follow any rules. So if I paint a picture, a face like Yamaya, if I painted that picture, it would never look like that. It would have been just totally different. So then painted over it because I wanted to have that to keep the mixed media. I do love mixed media, but yeah. So I don't have years ago you taught how to sketchbook and sketch everything. I don't. I just let it come to me. I think because there was so much rules we had to do in studying. Yeah, so much. Whereas I just think, you know what, it's kind of, I don't know, it's just surrendering to it without any rules.
Do you ever get inspired by literature as well? And which one around your collection?
This is a really good book. This is Encyclopedia of Women's Myth and Secrets by Barbara G. Walker, and it's got all the different proper research of women, goddesses. It's even got Men of Medusa, which meant wisdom. So it's all the things about women from everywhere. From.
Do you know when it was written?
She kind of did this. It was actually a guy called Bobby Hemming that recommended this. Book of the year 1986. Yeah, well, I advise everyone to have this because a lot of the stories they tell you about the women and people and everything. It's got men, women, it's got Constantine, it's got the name Mary, man, everything, mammogram, where that comes from. It's all the Philosopher's Stone, Phoenix, you know, a lot of the research I do. A lot of the paintings I do, I'll look at some symbol. I wouldn't start from here, I'll look at the symbol, maybe look it up and see what's happening. So that's a really good one. The Artist's Way, I think if you want to start creative practice, this is one of the older books. I think they've got a new, I got this in a second-hand shop. I had an original one before.
Okay.
It's really good if you're stuck and you want to develop an art practice. I'd advise anybody to get this by Julia Cameron.
Okay.
So it really helps you get into your practice. Okay, so
What about literature? Do you ever have any literature pieces or literature writers?
I did have that lady you talked about, Harvey Williams.
Oh yeah.
I can never pronounce her.
Amanda? Yeah.
I love her stuff, and for me, it's been one of those really beautiful books. So I do love bell hooks, which I've got at home. Bell hooks work.
This one?
That's Steve Jobs.
Okay.
I've got a lot of Black Man Tachia. This is Mysteries of the Goddess. So it's about Anne Dixon. That was quite a good book. Mirror Within. Quite an old book about assertiveness for women. I like my Andrew stuff. God, I forgot. A lot of my books are psychology books or mind body spirit books, but because I've kind of moved away from literature because I find that I'm starting to get back into it. I'm going to read about a woman from Cuba, I can't remember the name, but a lot of it's been about the mind, cosmology, psychology. I do like a lot of Carl Jung books. So, what is it, The Art of Dreaming.
Okay.
So those kind of books really I find really interesting. But yeah, most of my books have been about the human cycle, personal development really.
Healing love through
Tao. Now Healing Love Through Tao, I studied with the University of Tao in London, and it's about cultivating female sexual energy. So they deal with a lot of Taoism, Qigong, so it's internal, so that's what's helped my practice as well. It's internal healing practices, so a lot of the Qigong, a lot of the energetic work, which really grounds you, really gives you a good grounding, and it's about rejuvenating the sexual energy. So I studied with the school here for about 10 years ago, and they have a Jade Circle. So it really, I think anybody that works with somebody has to have a kind of Qigong, yoga. I've been doing yoga for like 20 odd years.
Okay.
So you need that kind of, yeah, because you're working with a lot of strong energies and focus. So you need a really good internal meditation. I've been doing a lot of meditation forever. So otherwise you can't convey the amount of information you can hold it, and be fit. So it really grounds the body, it really makes you healthy. And good movement is really